Check, check, going again. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very... Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first Sergio Something podcast. I've done a couple before, but I'm not the biggest fan of them. Lots of ums, lots of pauses, because I'm your neighborhood California guy. So, today, sorry about the mic movement. I'm just trying to get in my footing here because I don't have a proper studio like most people do. Anyway, yeah, like I said, my name's Sergio. This is the Something Podcast, and we're just going to bring you proper factualizations that come out of my retarded mouth. So, how's your guys' fucking day been? Mine's been, it's been alright. Just got back from the gym, and let me tell you, Jesus fucking Christ. I know people make a point of this, and I know it's a joke that everybody makes, but like, women, do you have to spend an hour and a half before you go to the fucking gym? I mean, I'm a guy, so of course, I may or may not take a peek at the people that work out with me. And sometimes I'll just sit there looking at them lifting my fucking weights going, you have eyeshadow on, foundation, lipstick, fucking lip liner. You did all this. And if you're great, maybe it took you 25 minutes, maybe less. But the fact that you spent that much fucking time to look that good for the gym, I don't know. I'm probably ridiculous. But, I'm also the same guy who has like 3 tank tops that I wear to the gym in 1 week. And sometimes they stink, and all I do is just fucking mess them up with a bunch of Axe and cologne. I mean, I got plenty of shorts, so that's fine. I don't know. It's my unprofessional opinion, but I just think it's too much damn time that you spend doing all that. But I guess if guys had more options accessory-wise, which we do, we would do it. But, I don't see a lot of guys that way. I mean, not to say I don't. Like the other fucking day, I went to the gym, and some fucking dude on the treadmill, not even walking, not even jogging, maybe going like a mile a goddamn hour, was wearing sweatpants, some goddamn loafers, one of those Hollister fucking stupid, color weird things, color wash. And he had normal sunglasses and a beanie on. I wanted to go over there and punch this fucking little prick in his goddamn face. But my only other option, so I wouldn't go to jail, was to record him, post him on Instagram, and make a funny joke. Because that's as passive-aggressive as you can get in this United States. But, even if this is turning you off from the gym, which, don't get me wrong, it's pretty terrible. I mean, the only way you ever get into it is by having a certain Pavlovian type of sense. You gotta wake up every goddamn fucking morning, go to the gym, tire your joints out, and then, commit the rest of your day. Or you flip it on its head. You wake up, you go to work, you take your kid to school, you jack off 6-7 times within a 45-minute period so you have the, optimum orgasm. And then you go to the gym at night. But personally, I don't like doing that. I suffer from just chronic anxiety because I'm a fucking lunatic. And the idea of me waiting to go to the gym later in the day, it fucks with me the whole day. Because from the minute I wake up, all I think about is, I have to go to the gym today. I have to eventually work out. And it's only 9, 10 a.m. I said I was going to go at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Who fucking cares? Any o'clock in the p.m. And I can't do it. I used to be able to do it, but, my mind just can't handle the fact that I have to go to the gym for whatever reason. So I get it out of the way the minute I wake up. I mean, I'm sorry, I suffer from chronic stuttering. But I have decent insomnia. I'm not going to say it's as bad as it was. I'm starting to get a little back on track. But I'm usually up by 6, 5:30 sometimes. So, going to the gym at 8 a.m. isn't too bad. And best part is, you smoke like 3 or 4 bowls of some great weed. I don't know, that's a lot of weed, I guess, after the gym. You smoke like 2 good bowls, you fucking forget you went to the gym by 4 o'clock. And when you're at work, unless your work's terrible, you don't think about it. Well, I guess if your work is terrible, all you would do is think about it. Or not think about it. Because you're like, God, this place fucking sucks. I want to shoot these coworkers. They're a bunch of goddamn assholes. But that's just my projection onto you guys. But seriously, every single job... No, every single job I've had, just a bunch of fucking assholes sometimes. Other than this hotel I worked at before, Every coworker there was pretty cool. I actually got to work there before the hotel fully opened, so I kind of had seniority. But oh my God, the managers I had there were goddamn awful. They were fucking rude, didn't do their job, and two of them would constantly do drugs and alcohol on site. I mean, well, to be very fair, all the valets came in high and or drunk sometimes too. But you know, we get paid minimum wage. These fucking these managers get paid a full-time goddamn salary to do essentially way less than we do. Because I'll tell you this, at the new place I work at, I do the same things. Like I'm a valet, so I park cars, right? And going to this new job, I didn't realize how much fucking work I did at the other one because I was what was called a captain. So I was in charge, but it never felt like too much because I think I eventually got used to the role. But once I got to this new job, I was like, wait, I don't have to run up and down parking garages. Nope. I don't even have to greet people. No, not if you don't want to. Is there free food? Nah, go fuck yourself. Well, at least I won't gain 25 pounds at an all-you-can-eat buffet like the last one. I don't know. But I do miss my coworkers from the hotel. Those were some of the most down-to-earth, just funniest people I've ever worked with in my life. I mean, they were nice. They were funny. I know I'm just repeating myself, but I don't know how to preface this enough that I've never had a job other than that hotel one where my base coworkers, the people I would see 24/7, were just cool, good-hearted people. We all stole evenly. We all smoked in cars. Sometimes do bumps of coke if anybody had enough money. I mean, it was cool. They were nice. They were like family. But my new fucking coworkers, a goddamn mixed bag of people. I'll tell you what. I mean, they don't have captains. They have like a way less thing of captain, because captain at the other place, you would have to fucking put the car's name in. You'd have to make sure the car wasn't fucking damaged. You would have to be in charge of 30, 40 keys in a cabinet. You'd have to tell valets what to do. You couldn't leave your post. You had to deal with security. I mean, it was, you pretty much ran your section of your valet area like it was your own. But at this new place, it's 3 people that greet, and then the rest just park it. So there's no real sense of authority other than the greeters, because they greet. And they usually stay the longest because I think they have more seniority. And I don't know, if you really look at it, that's 0 fucking authority over any of us. Yet somehow, they're able to abuse it and be a bunch of dicks. Other than one. There's one who's really cool, but I think he secretly hates everybody. So he just stays quiet and doesn't say anything. But I'm pretty sure he has some, resented hatred towards, any number of us. But there's 2 who just have 0 goddamn patience with us, and it gets on my goddamn nerves. One of them I can deal with because if I crack a joke enough, he'll laugh. But that's how fucking angry I'm getting. I can't even fully speak. Here, let me get some fucking water. There's a little bit in this fucking cup. Can you hear it? Oh, fuck. I spit water on the mic. Sorry about your ears. What was I saying? No, there's this one piece of shit greeter. Only like 2 years older than me. Fucking preppy, rich, spoiled white boy. You can obviously tell he's had his little fucking position of always just telling people what to do his whole life and never had to do real work. Because all this man does is yell at customers and yell at us. If you think I'm fucking joking, I shit you not. This man, if you show up to his valet and you immediately say something like, oh, I'm not interested in parking, he will look away from your eyes, point to where the self-parking is, no matter if you didn't even ask where it was, and it'll just be like, there's self-parking on the right-hand side, you can take the exit straight through. That's his literal response. And you know what? No, I was about to defend him and say I get it, but I don't get it. I used to work as a Chipotle cashier. I used to work as his same position, if not more, greeting people in other places. And I used to work at Bath and Body Works during holiday season. And I kept a smile on my face for the most time because you know what? At the end of the day, I was just getting paid to scan shit and just flirt with MILFs. If not flirt with MILFs, it was just talk to a bunch of nice grandmas who were like, oh, I've never seen a boy work here. You handle my perfume so well. So you know what? I don't get it because I've had stressful days. You know, if you've ever worked retail at a holiday season, you know exactly how, hectic that whole thing is. So for him to stand there less than 8 hours, because even if he stays there 8 hours, the last 2 or 3 he can go and sit down because we close up the front early and then there's a section, whatever, So he doesn't fully ever stand more than 8 hours. He barely even has to greet people because sometimes there's one other person or two other people, and he doesn't run the fucking cars. The valets run the goddamn cars. He doesn't have to do a single physical fucking thing, yet he finds it necessary to treat the job that he works as if he has to move fucking plywood from one section of a goddamn store to another, or like he has to repipe some huge mansion. I mean, it's fucking idiotic. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You know what? Because when I take over his greeting position, I love it. I don't have to run. I get to stand. All I have to do is open doors and be like, what's your last name? Ah, fantastic. You can either choose this one fancy restaurant with burgers or the other one with seafood. Take your pick. Dude, that's great. And the tips that we make are fucking ridiculous. And I know for a fact he earns way more tips than all of us because he has priority to stay the longest. We go by a list. He puts his name last, even when the list isn't even fucking legally open for us to sign. I know it's not legally. It's legally for us. But even when that shit's not fucking priority signed, he will go and sign it. And oh my God, it is just infuriating. But the tips are great. Some of the people are nice enough. And god damn, I work at this restaurant where they have these hostesses right in front of us. And they're pretty good looking. So we get a little eye candy. I'm probably a little bit misogynistic. But anyway, that's my rant on work. I actually have to go later. So that's going to be quite a doozy. Oh, actually, one last fucking story, just because this one really has me pissed off. So this is the first place I've ever worked where we have something called the tip log. I'm so used to getting my tips that same goddamn day because I worked. I'm a normal fucking slave. But at this place, I guess since everybody leaves at different times, the way they do it, because, we do earn a significant amount of tips. On the log, you write when you got there and then when you left, and then you accumulate the hours, and then eventually they'll get all the tips together, and then they'll, see how many people work this many hours and then dividend it between them. There's a whole math system to it. Fucking retarded. But I know for a fact he earns the most because, again, like I said earlier, he has priority to stay last. So that means he's getting the maximum number of hours. So not only is he getting the max number of hours for minimum wage, but he's getting the max number of hours for tips. So he is at least top 3 earner of our fucking valet squad. And he still has the audacity to be depressed. Like, holy shit. I don't know. It's just my take on it. But the whole point is, I fucking lost track. See, this is how fucking angry this guy gets me. Anyway, our actual big boss comes in because we have a boss who runs the place where we work, but he never shows up like ever, except on rare occasions. This was one of those rare occasions. Sounds like a Forensic Files. And then the boss showed up. The boss never showed up. But on this particular day, his red, freckled face fucking beer bottlenecked. I don't even know where I'm going with that. But anyway, he did show up, and he was like, hey, you can go home already, we've got it most done. I was like, all right, cool. And it was like 9:30, I think, or 9 o'clock, one of those two. So, but when he told me that, it was like 8:53, and he was like, yeah, just go ahead and leave now. And I've noticed that you don't go by minutes, you go by quarters because when you divide up the money, it's way easier. I get that. So I end up writing 9 o'clock because I'm 5 minutes away from 9. So I write 9 o'clock and that's it. I sign out the tip log like I normally would. And I go and take a piss in the bathroom because I have like the world's smallest fucking bladder. And I always like to pee before I leave because it's like a 25-minute ride home. And I don't want to stop to pee somewhere. I'm not there yet. When I'm 35, talk to me then. But I come out of the fucking bathroom, and here's this little fucking 4-eyed prick waiting for me in front of the restaurant. And we do this thing where we have to move signs back, But the way he was standing, I can tell. Because what ended up happening was I came out and he was holding the stand and not moving it. And then I came out and he picked it up. And then he's like, Sergio, come over here. And all I knew was, what does this fucking piece of shit want? Did you sign out of the tip log at 9 o'clock? And I was like, yeah, I did. Immediately, I knew where he was going to go with this. Without a fucking second to grasp his air, his tone immediately changed. He was like, you don't do that. If you say you leave at a certain time, that's the time you leave. You know what? These people work hard, yada, 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 all this bullshit. And then he was like, so you always put the time you fucking go. So I docked you a quarter on the tip log. I went from leaving at fucking like 8:53 for him to put me down to 7:45. How much of an annoying, hateful cunt do you have to be to do that? I wouldn't even do that. Even to somebody I would hate. If this piece of shit fucking clocked out 30 minutes early than he had to, I'd be pissed. I'd fucking say some side comments. I might even start some rumors about this son of a bitch. But I'm not gonna go and fuck with this guy's payment, even if he's fucking the company itself. That's a bitch move. That is 100% a bitch move. And I'm not talking great about myself. You know, I'm a pussy. You know, I haven't gotten in many fights. And then when a fight starts to occur, immediately my insecurities and like superpower of being kind of funny comes out. And I'm like, let me joke my way out of this. And obviously, since I said a couple fights, it doesn't always work. But, you know, you get stabbed with a pen a couple times. You just throw a kid on the edge of a sidewalk. Or, you know, well, I guess verbal arguments I wouldn't really count as fights. I like verbal arguments because at the end of the day, I can win a decent verbal argument. I'm not to say that I'm a goddamn linguist. But I'm mean enough and observant enough to where I kind of know what hurts you. And I can say it at the drop of a hat. Like, I want to say I have this one friend, but I think it's more like had. But I had this one friend, and we would always kind of hang out every once in a while. He was a cool cat, but he always we had distinctive personalities. Think of him as like a real cool, kind of good-looking, beer-drinking, baseball-playing type of guy. Think like that. And me, I mean, if you've seen me, I'm just a fucking gumpy little Mexican who can barely get by. But we would hang out, and I would notice that if I ever acted like my true self, which is just a mean, vindictive, depressing son of a bitch, he would always have like a certain way of looking at me. And I'd always look at him and be like, what, bro? Do you not like my true self? Always kind of put him in a bad position. Or I'd even say like, I'm sorry if I'm being too Sergio. And he's like, nah, bro, don't worry about it. And I'm like, well, you're kind of best friends with an asshole. Or friends, I guess that was a better sense. And he's like, you're not an asshole, bro. A moment in which a true asshole moment of mine, which I will admit had come out between us. He goes and he invites me to like a little kickback. And it's chilling, you know, any excuse to go drink and get high. I think, you know, anybody's going to do it. And I'm there and I'm chilling. I'm having a good time. And I'm noticing that this cat, he's like barely drank anything. I mean, just like nothing. And he's like, the way he's talking, the way he's looking. I'm like, this cat's a really, really lightweight drinker. Because I guess in my head, I'd built up that he was a really good drinker. But since I was so blinded probably by his coolness or my own drunkenness, I never took notice that he really doesn't take a lot to get drunk. And I guess something in my head really made me, it probably humanized him a lot more. Maybe that's why see, like, all this is a psychological breakdown of why I feel the need to be such a fucking dick. But anyway, I look and he thinks he's like the shit. And he's talking all this mess. And I almost feel bad because he's not really as coherent as he might think he is. And all I think is like, I should tell him he's a light drinker. But I almost knew it was going to piss him off. But I did it anyway, because I wanted to. I mean, what was I going to do, not say it? So I was like, hey, bro, you're kind of a light drinker. And immediately he made a fucking face. He moved his shoulders. He was like, what? What? I'm not a light drinker, bro. What are you talking about, light drinker, bro? I've been drinking this. I drank a little bit of this before. I'm chilling. I'm fine. I'm just fucking enjoying myself. Really? You're fucking acting like this is some fucking house party and there's only like 15, 20 of us here. I think you should cool it down a bit. How I Met Your Mother's on. maybe give it a watch while you're fucking sipping on your booze. And from there on out, he proceeded to spend the whole night just adamantly trying to convince me that he wasn't a light drinker. And I can tell in his eyes and his voice and his body language that he was like serious about it. Like I knew I offended it. And like I even told him straight up, I was like, bro, just leave it alone. Just stop. You trying to convince me only wants me even more to say, well, you're just a light drinker. And sure enough, he just did not let it go. And then I even tried to get nice and scientific about it. I was like, well, bro, you got to remember too. I'm like, you're skinnier. You got no body fat. I mean, it's just going to hit you hard. While me, I'm fucking chubby. I got some weight on me. I don't exercise too well. I don't get that drunk. And plus, I come from like 20 generations of straight born alcoholics. I mean, mother, father, might as well be some fucking redheaded freckled Irishman because these Mexicans drink like it's the last fucking day. But I tell him all that, and he doesn't stop. And even with that, he's like, nah, bro, body weight and fucking body fat have nothing to do with drinking. I think science highly disproves what you're saying, but, sure, whatever you think, buddy. But the fucking night ends up cooling down, and, eventually he just doesn't talk about it, and everybody's having a good time. Like, I felt a bit of disdain from him, but it wasn't too big. He was still talking to me. But I really wanted to get high. I was tired of drinking because I like drinking, but I just don't get any negative effects from fucking smoking weed. It doesn't make my stomach hurt like alcohol does. It doesn't make me fucking get ascos in my mouth. You just get fucking high. But I'm like, hey, I'm going to go smoke in the car. And he's like, oh, let me come too. I'm like, yeah, for sure, bro. We'll fucking smoke. And we go out to the car, we're having a good little chit chat on the way there, we're chilling. And it seems like the minute we slam the door and we get away from everybody and all the pretty girls that were around him and all that shit, he looks at me dead in my eye and he's like, bro, I need to get something straight. I just really want to lay the groundwork. I'm not a light drinker. I'm really not, I drink a lot. I drink every weekend. I don't get drunk. I feel fine. I feel great right now. I feel fantastic. Like I don't get where you're getting all this fucking, I'm a lightweight drinker shit. Right here is what I'm getting this lightweight drinker shit, dog. What the fuck? How are you so insecure about drinking alcohol? Not even your physical looks. It's how you can take alcohol. Why are you so insecure about it that you have to spend all this fucking, and he went on 15, 20 minutes about how, this and that. And I didn't choose to argue with him too much. I didn't really interrupt. I was actually listening because I knew he felt bad. But by the end of it, he was like, I want to know that I'm not a lightweight drinker. Pretty much, that fucking woman mentality. She's like, I want to hear you say it. I don't care if I've won this argument. I want to be a cunt, and I want to fucking hear you say that you're wrong and I'm right and all this bullshit. And I don't like that shit. I just don't. Personally, I don't like people telling me exactly what to do. I mean, that's a bad trait, I know. But on top of that, it telling me to do something that I don't agree with, because I'm a pathological liar. But on top of that, I'm a brutal, honest truther. It's the best word I can come up with. Because sometimes telling the truth brutally to some people is way easier on me and them, as opposed to lying every once in a while. And this was one of those moments I didn't feel the need to lie. I really just didn't want to fucking lie. So, when he said that, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And he was like, no, bro. But he's like, do you think I'm still a light drinker? I told him straight the fuck up. I was like, look, dog, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm assuming too much. I'm not in your body. I am an asshole. I always preface that. I'm an asshole, It's, it doesn't do anything. It's not like it helps my situation. It's like it's like what? It's like a bitch saying I'm on my period even while she goes and yells at you and throws fucking faces at you. I mean, it doesn't help. I mean, you get it, but it don't help. But I tell him, you're friends with an asshole, whatever. But I was like, look, I don't really like lying, especially to my friends, because it's just, I don't feel the need to. But I'll be straight up with you. It feels, to me, in my opinion, that's how I said it, just so I didn't even fucking straight up tell him. I was like, it feels like, in my opinion, that you're a bit of a lightweight drinker. And He just gave up. He looked down. He looked disappointed. He looked like he was about to cry. And he's like, well, I guess if that's how my friend sees me, he's like, I would hope my friends, would believe me and have my back. And then I was like, what? Vice versa, you fucking cunt. I hope that my friends would at least let me call them lightweight drinkers and accept the fact that I could be wrong. But on top of that, it's how I feel and see it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong in this situation, but that's just a pitch perfect example of the type of piece of shit I am. And, a good example of how people, sorry, that was a speaker. And a good example of how people just can't take, comments. Sufficient to say he hasn't hit me up at all since that day. I'm serious. And, for good reason. I don't blame him. I'm sure he could use somebody around him who can tell him he's a heavy drinker and, all that shit. But Jesus Christ, how did I fucking get here? I started this thing and I was like, I'm going to get this. Shut the fuck up, phone. Here, let's see. New message from Jen Gomez. It's just from my work. This fucking stupid app thing. You know what I fucking hate? I hate it that everything has to be so goddamn integrated. Everything has to fucking need your phone number. Everything needs your fucking email. Everything needs an app to be downloaded. I mean, they want to segregate and integrate everything so fucking much. It's irritating. Here goes old man fucking speak. But it's our fault. It's our fucking fault. When the internet started, we just signed up for everything willy-nilly. We gave up all our fucking information to that piece of shit Mark Zuckerberg. And what did he do? He went, turned around, fucking sold our information, made billions of dollars. And now we have constant ads telling us, what we want and what we need, and constantly invading our life and telling us to sign up for this app and get this phone number and this and that. Fuck all these people, who are in slew with it or fucking argument for it, where it's like, yes, but it's good. You save money, you get coupons, you eventually get free food. That's the fucking point. You don't think that they've done the math to know what is going to make them lose and not lose money? All it is a way for them to ensure that you go back and spend your money. Like 7-Eleven points is the perfect example. I was a 7-Eleven addict for fucking years. I still go every once in a while. But when I used to use that app because they had an app, it felt like, why would I go anywhere else when I can go to 7-Eleven, boost up my points because they have decent coupons, and then just get free shit? And you know what? It's kind of what happened. I didn't go to liquor stores. I didn't even go get burritos from fucking Mexican taco shops sometimes. I would just go to 7-Eleven and be like, yeah, I'm just get a bunch of cookies and chips. And when you just multiply that by every single goddamn company who does it, it's the same thing. And there are people who do that same thing. Hell, look at me. Even without a rewards program, I go to Chipotle maybe 4-6 times a week. And I know they have an app, but I don't want to download the app because, again, I'm not trying to give out more of my information, and I don't need another excuse to constantly go spend fucking $10-12 on a fucking bowl. That's amazing, by the way. But, at the end of the day, it's what? If I go, let's say I went 5 times a week just because of an app, I'm spending $60, maybe $70 on fucking food. You can't do that. I mean, it's more motivation. Because sometimes I will. Sometimes I'm like, I want to go get a bowl. I want to go get Panda Express. But I'm like, there's cereal at home. You got a protein bar somewhere in a fucking cabinet. And, you can make another sandwich for the 450th time in a row. And it's fine. It's literally fine because you know what? When you look at how much money you save up, sometimes it's really worth it. But, fuck all these companies that just want us to fucking have our... Because your phone at this point, which by the way, phones need to be fucking changed. Because I guarantee you, 10 years from now, if not 5 years from now, people are going to look back at phones and be like, holy shit. Who let that happen? Who let this fucking addictive metal rectangle be in everybody's pocket and fucking walk around like zombies who don't even... Hold on. I'm going to adjust the fucking mic. My back's starting to hurt in this position. Sorry. I should pause this, but I don't want to. Hope this isn't too close. But, yeah, they're going to look back at the fucking smartphone and be like, what did we do? Obviously they know what they're doing. It's a fucking way to watch the population. I mean, first you microchip your dogs, and then you just microchip your cell phone and take it everywhere. But when they do the scientific studies, they're gonna be like, oh, parents gave their children tablets and phones believing it was good for them and this and that, and now look at them, they have zero attention span, they want everything in that moment, and they don't know what a tree is because all the trees are extinct since 2026 after the paper wars. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but that's my point. My point is that fucking smartphones are ridiculous and stupid. I still use it. I've been thinking about it, like legitimately thinking about getting just a flip phone. But I need to start weaning myself off. I can do some things cold turkey, like when that whole vaping stuff happened. I had to stop because even before I got into it, I always kind of knew. I was like, that vaping stuff, that shit's too new. Like, that shit's never been heard of. This is like when cigarettes first came out. Like, I know tobacco's been around a long time, but this is what I mean. Like, a produced, fast, easy way for you to just smoke. Because, back in the day, you would have to get your tobacco, which would come in pouches, and then you'd roll them up. But when cigarettes came out, it was just like flick, you just smoke them. And that's what I knew the vapes were. The vapes were just these new dangerous items that we had no idea would happen. And I knew people were going to die from them. And when I realized how convenient they were for the weed ones, I fucking got on them. And I always kind of knew that something was up with these carts. Because when I would smoke them, they would make my head feel a certain way. But eventually, you still get high from them. But when I started paying attention and going back to the whole hotel thing, those people that I used to work with, they smoked weed a lot too. And even they would be like, yeah, these carts, they can't be good with some of them. And they would be like, look at this neon color. Look how fast the bubble moves. That's not how a real cartridge looks. And then somebody showed me what a real pristine cartridge looked like. And I was blown away because they're thick. The bubble barely moves. I mean, they hit harder. And when I saw that, it really made me realize that like those hundreds of cartridges that I smoked, I was like, there was probably all kinds of chemicals in there. There is probably all kinds of chemicals in there. Fucking cyanide and shit. Actually, they did find cyanide. And it also goes back to what I originally thought. I'm like, what if this is just, the government's way of population control and, causing hysteria with weed being legal now. Because if you remember back during the Prohibition era, when alcohol was going through all that shit, they would literally get their own. They would get their own. The government would get their own alcohol, fill it with venom, and then throw it out in the black market as if they were any other vendor. And then the alcohol would get distributed, and obviously, what would happen? People would drink it. People would die. News stories would come out, and then it would be even more propaganda for them to keep booze outlawed. And same thing happened for cigarettes. I mean, cigarettes to this day are still filled with all kinds of different fucking chemicals, unnecessary bullshit inside, and people die from them. And that's it. So I was like, why would these be any different? These fucking packages that they come in have a little fucking Mario on a Mario Kart getting high, and it just says Mario Kart. It doesn't have how much the distillate is, where it comes from, this and that, and they're all $20. But then sure enough, when all those fucking news stories came out of people dropping dead and lungs collapsing, in that time I was hitting them hard. I think I had like 2 full grams a week but at that point I had switched from shitty knockoff ones, because at that time I was just always broke because I was fucking mismanaging money. But eventually I started buying just these Cali Cures, which were really good. But then I also started to notice, hope you like those. I feel like I burp in every one of my videos. Jesus, sorry, that gastritis. I was fucking farting up a storm at the gym too, dude. I noticed that when I work out now, I need to find a specific area or corner for myself, because I would just let that shit loose. But anyway, yeah, I was on these Cali Cures. like fucking 2 grams a week. And I started to notice little things. I noticed that my eyesight started going really bad. I mean, that could be for a number of things, but that was one of the things I did significantly notice. And then I noticed that my right lung started hurting a lot. And it was getting hard to breathe. And then I was choking a lot at night and all this. And then eventually when I went to the doctor, because I had to do a checkup, when she like heard my lungs, she immediately told me, she's like, you need to stop smoking. And I was like, Jesus. And I still didn't stop mostly. It wasn't until there was about like 500 deaths that when you really look at them, they actually had not a lot to do with the Juuls or the e-cigs, but they actually had more to do with the knockoff carts. So I just completely cut them off. Oh yeah, because I was talking about going cold turkey. I was like, how the fuck did I get on this topic? But I just had to cut cold turkey because I liked them too much. They were too convenient. You can hit them anywhere. They really always hit, and they were expensive. They were like 50 fucking bucks a full gram, and I was buying 2 a week, sometimes 3 if I was really, because you eventually build a tolerance with them. But no, I had to let that shit go. I wasn't about to die this young over that bullshit, so I had to go back on the flour. And I forgot how inconvenient it was, but it's true what they say, man. That shit always hits good. Flour is just your base. You need it. You can never go wrong with it. So that's my recommendation. Anybody listening to this, if you're still smoking e-cigs or fucking carts, whether they're knockoff or, even pristine brands you're paying 60, 80 bucks for, just don't do it, dog. You don't know what's in that shit. I mean, unless you have a dealer who does it himself. Hold on. I'm going to pause it. Sorry about that. I just had to deal with an interruption. But yeah, that's my recommendation. Get off that shit, because at the end of the day, you don't know what's in there. A good amount of them come from China, and I'm not trying to, be racist or anything about China, but, China doesn't give a shit about, products that go overseas. They don't care whether they hurt us or not. They don't care whether the material is good or not. And neither does our own country. Our own country doesn't give a shit how good the quality is, because it's way cheaper to make it over there. I mean, dude, have you ever seen Shark Tank? I used to watch that shit growing up. I was like, oh, this show's fucking awesome. I can't even sit and watch that show anymore, because all I think about it is like these fucking nihilistic, capitalistic bastards sitting up there, fucking millionaires, and all they have all this free time to what? To fucking talk shit to poor people who just want to make a living off of certain products that may or may not work. And then what do? You fucking break them down. You fucking tell them that their products ain't shit. And then you still throw an offer at them. You still try to buy the company. This is what those corporate bastards want. They want us poor people to keep thinking we're dumb and everything's fucking useless and all this shit, so they can take advantage of us and they could fucking rummage us and do whatever. And that's what fucking happens. Every time you go and you buy unnecessary bullshit. I mean, I'm fucking guilty of it too. I'm way better at it now. But sometimes I'll still go buy a notebook because it looks nice and I really want to write a certain thing in it. Or sometimes I'll buy, a fucking a game on the Switch or a comic book. But I mean, I'm talking like people who unnecessarily go to the mall or even old women who go to Ross and TJ Maxx and Marshalls every week, every fucking day, and they buy something. I mean, you don't need that shit. And it's what they want. You just keep paying them. You keep, giving into that fact that you are just a consumer. And, oh man, Sergio's really getting into it. But what was I even fucking saying? Yeah, but they don't care. So stop smoking those fucking cards. Shark Tank is an evil. Oh yeah, because I remember Kevin on one of the Shark Tank episodes, it was a couple, I think, and they were making baby products. And all they were was sippy cups to not make a mess. And it was things to put on the little fucking columpio and whatever. There's just this good, wholesome couple trying to fucking, make good baby products. And Kevin wanted to buy it. And he made an offer, and he even added more money to their original offer because they refused, because he had one stipulation. His stipulation was, I want you to stop manufacturing this here and manufacture it in China, because you'll make, I think it was like you spend $2 or like $1.50 to make them here, and you spend like 10 cents to make them in China, like some ridiculous number like that. And the couple was like, we specifically don't want to do that because we make them here because we know that they're safe, as opposed to other baby products that people buy from China that have unsafe plastics that people microwave and give them to their fucking kids. And these kids come out fucking retarded. And then you throw a fucking phone at them and go, here, distract yourself for 30 minutes while fucking mom goes on her phone for fucking 5 hours, drinks a cup of wine and watches fucking murder porn. And the kid just stays on his phone because that's modern society for you in a fucking nutshell. I didn't know this was going to be mostly ranting, but when you give me a microphone, time to myself, and an option to talk myself, it's just going to end up being ranting. I don't even know who the fuck's going to listen to this. I had other bullet points, but I feel like I actually covered a lot. And I'm getting pretty hungry. I didn't expect these to be long either. You know, I can imagine myself going for a long time, talking for like fucking 2-3 hours, especially if I had somebody. But I also like this solo thing. I want to try out solo. I feel like sometimes I need time to process what I'm doing. And getting that on a podcast really helps. Right now I'm going through this fucking notebook where I wrote down my fucking notes. I was going to write them down on my phone, but I'm like, what am I? Back to my own fucking self-fulfilling bullshit where I'm trying to use my phone less. So I write stuff down more. I turn off my phone unnecessarily. And sometimes I even leave the house without my phone. And boy, that's going to be the hardest one to get out of, because fuck social media, fuck porn, fuck fucking apps that you might play. Fucking your choice of music, your own personal library of your life soundtrack at your hands, that's the hardest thing to get out of. Because going back to the car and listening to the radio, while nostalgic sometimes, God, sometimes they just play the worst songs. Fucking commercials that drag on too long. Hosts that are unfunny, but I get it. You're going to be on there for 13 fucking 15 hours. Of course you're going to be unfunny. I mean, I just like being able to listen to fucking Rick James's Big Time 20 times over. I mean, what's so wrong with that? Maybe I don't want to listen to Lady Gaga. How old am I? Fucking 10? 10 from 10 years ago? Who's here? Spotify. Yeah, we're going to go to Spotify. Is there like a top artist section? Recently played, made for me, your top podcast, heavy rotation. See, but I like that. I like that they fucking... other things, I don't like that they do that. I don't like that YouTube and Amazon and eBay, fucking puts all the shit that I buy in one category and they only recommend me that kind of shit. I'm like, how am I ever going to find new products if all you recommend me is fucking products that, oh shit, is that a fucking noob set? That's what it's like when you're on Amazon. Although I like it with Spotify because I don't want to listen to some of this new age bullshit. If it's good, I'll eventually hear it because everybody plays it. But the state of music today, hey, it's like it's listening to me. Hashtag throwback. Today's top hits. Selena Gomez. I grew up with her as a wizard. Tones and I don't know who the fuck you are. Harry Styles. I'm pretty sure it's one of the One Direction guys. Good for him going solo. I think he's the hot one. He's like the Justin Bieber of the group. Maroon 5. Dude, Maroon 5 somehow stays fucking relevant like for 20 years. Like even when you think they have a dip, they don't. Because I remember they came out with hits when I was in middle school, hits when I was in elementary school, hits when I was in high school, and look, still top charts right in front of me here. I'm just gonna get a taste. I want to see, because they're not bad. I actually still listen to them. All right, let's fast forward it. Nah, it's one of those slow songs. I hate Adam Levine's slow songs. I like his up tempos. I think he's really good. He's got a good fucking upbeat. And the only sad songs I like are the ones obviously I grew up with. The how does it go? I actually don't. Great, now I'm gonna have to fucking see. This is what this podcast has turned into. It's turned into me opening this fucking thing I complained about that controls my life and being like, hey, I'm gonna look up fucking things about this band that I probably don't need to know. Is it this one, She Will Be Loved? Oh. Knock on my front door, something. Dude, I'm pretty sure this music video, if I remember, this guy, he's like a gardener, Adam Levine. He plays like a gardener in the fucking music video, and the whole song he's singing, and he's like watching the wife of the man's house he's gardening. He's watching her argue with him. He's watching her at the fucking pool. I mean, this guy's going literal fucking stalker mode. But since he's Adam Levine, he can do it. He's got that hot guy variable. And like eventually, I think the husband leaves or divorces the wife. And like by the end of the fucking video, he's like banging her. He's got his weed whacker fucking over his head. He's like, yeah, like how I get those hedges done. And that's how the video ends. And I'm just like, only in music videos can a fucking good looking white man stalk a lady and then eventually bang her, because that's entertainment. I mean, I don't know. That could happen. I mean, maybe you could show somebody how much you really care about them by, writing them notes with your own blood, sending them postcards with a fucking cat's head, printed on the top, showing real sentiments of love and value. If you're slowly listening to this will either be a podcast or a confessional of how I have like psychosis or something. But isn't true sanity just being within the line between sanity and insanity? Because if you can't understand both, then aren't you just one? That's too philosophical for me. I'm not that smart. I don't read enough. But anyway, I think I'm actually going to call it here. I feel like I've rambled long enough. There are people in this house now who can hear me yell and say all this crazy shit. So, my insecurities only get worse. I'll probably try to upload this as soon as possible. It's not that long. I mean, it's just one strand of clips. But thank you for listening. Hopefully, I put out something else. I know it's been like 2 months since my last video, but I'm a creative. What do you want from me? One day I'm drawing, one day I'm writing, one day I'm jacking off. It's all one big blur. But anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you guys have a good Friday. I'm going to try to get this out by Friday. And, if you have any questions, send them in the comments. I know there's only like 10 people that watch this, but hey, even if it's like, do you like your ass eaten? You can find out. I won't give you the answer now. That's too early. But thanks for listening. Sorry if I talk too much, and peace.